Tuesday, August 25th, 2020. Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here is Live Forex Global YouTube channel. Morning market update. London cash market update. Before we start, risk warning as usual. Please bear in mind, trading on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. You can stay a loss of some or initial investments, so please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay, guys. So, German GDP and German IFO behind us. So when it comes to the data, right? What we have? Business climate 92.6 versus expectations 92.1. Well, great stuff. Expectations new 97.5 versus 98 what market was expecting. Current conditions 87.9 versus 87 expectations. Wow. Ifo notes the German recovery is fragile. That's the very important. Too soon to extend the short-term work scheme. We'll see, based on the Ifo comments, we'll see the GDP growth of around 7% in Q3. So still, compared to the Q2, we are going to talk about in a second, a little bit lower. Now, when it comes to the GDP, it was better than market was expecting. Yes, that's why we've seen DAX spiking up, right? Well, of course, it's a little bit of the irony in that we got minus 9.7 versus minus 10.1 the expectations. All right, so that was after the cash open spike higher to hit more stops, right? And right now we are pulling back. Before we will go and talk about the intraday opportunities, let's have a look what we have from higher time frame perspective. Alright, so because of everything is related to the Germany today, so we are going to discuss DAX, and then we are going to discuss few euro crosses. When it comes to the weekly chart of the DAX, right? Well, plenty of fib levels being broken, plenty of horizontal lines being broken, and we are going higher and higher and higher. Based on the chart I'm using, looks like market wants to close the gap we have around 13,500 plus minus. If you want to know exactly, it's between 13,450 and 500, right? So 60-70 bp gap. There was an attempt to go higher a few weeks ago, right? Spiked higher, stop count, a little bit of the rejection. Looks like market decided to go equal waves based on the higher time frame, right? Pull back and trying to go higher. So probably the gap we are discussing, plus if you remember the educational video about the power of the single candle, right? Everything is here. So I do expect stop count and eventually reversal in the medium term. I'm not talking when I'm saying a little bit of the reversal, I'm not talking about the full reversal. At least that's not what I'm thinking about just yet. This type of the price action, stop count, and maybe retest of the over under, in that case 11,500, right? So I would say 2,000 points when it comes to the DAX. So that's how I see the things from the higher time frame perspective. We are going to go and check lower time frame perspective. Very important is this blue line over here. I'm going to explain why, around 13,000, because we've been above, but only with upper shadows. All right, so we were trying to go higher, but we were working with the upper shadows only, meaning that some kind of the activity from the selling side been visible there. Let's switch lower. Let's switch to the 30-minute chart. So there was a stop count against some similar price action we've seen yesterday. We will see if that's gonna to continue. So when it comes to the DAX, as you can see, equal moves going on, trying to build a lower shadow. So we took out some stops to the upside, we took out intraday stops to the downside. So market makers, nicely done. They already can go for a lunch. So that's how I see the things. Of course, the weekly cash open, that's gonna be the key when it comes to the deeper pullback, if seen. And that's first, in my opinion, strong level when it comes to the a little bit more aggressive buying I do expect over there. Now, trying to finalize the DAX, this latest weakness from the Friday, right? And strong move yesterday and attempt to continue to the upside. That's why, because of this latest weakness, I think once we are going to see the levels close to the Friday high and the latest weakness over here, that's where I do expect some more buying opportunities, right? Short term, from the intraday perspective only. So I would be very careful trying to trade, of course, with different exposure, right? You can try to take the advantage of the equal moves, but then I would expect some activity around the levels close to 13,000 and 12,870. Here we have this Friday Niagara Falls, so the levels never been tested, so we have some kind of the gap when it comes to the cash market. Right here I have the pre-market action, so the chart is full, but if you are going to take into the consideration only cash market, we have some gap. The same, we have the gap to the upside, we have the gap to the downside, right? So for now, when we are talking about the supply and possible intraday supply and possible intraday demand, when it comes to the buyers, I do expect 13,080 as some level of the demand when it comes to the DAX. That's the first zone. Then I do expect the one discussed a second ago, right? When it comes to this demand, what I would like to do, if you don't know how to eventually try to approach, I would make the measure. If this pullback is the first wave, right, in the move today, how big rally could be to take us with the equal wave to that level, right? It's very easy. It's very easy to check because we already have these equal waves, right? So we are going to make the copy, and to hit that level, we might see some kind of the intraday head and shoulder, as you can see, right? This type of the price action, very, very possible, very likely. Levels close to 11,190. All right. So that's the supply, or 3 drives rally that could push us higher and create some kind of the megaphone formation over here. So that's what I'm looking for when it comes to the DAX from both perspective, buyers and sellers. Now, euro dollar, dollar been losing the ground at the beginning of the day, then been recovering towards the end of the day. So we have on the daily nicely upper shadow, some kind of the doji. Now, because of this lower shadow, we discussed yesterday that probably we are going to take it out to retest the lower band of the consolidation towards 117, and at least we are going to have some kind of the stop count. But what my approach? Of course, we might see some kind of the give up if we are going to get the close below 1865. That's what we discussed. So I do expect supply around yesterday high and around Thursday high to create and close this business when it comes to this possible swing high. So that's where I'm going to try to reject the rally. When it comes to the buyers, well, if the way of the thinking about this bottom of that consolidation to be tested, that's where I would wait. Now, it's just Tuesday morning, right? If we are going to draw another upper shadow and we are going to close again around the weekly open, we might see on Wednesday attempt to break lower, right? And we might see completely totally opposed situation where the morning is gonna be with the dollar strength, and then because it's Wednesday, midweek reversal after the stop count ahead of the Jackson's Hole, we can get back to the weekly open. So for now, looking to fade the rallies towards 1870, all right, and looking for the levels close to 17 to take the profit, and looking for eventually midweek reversal buying opportunity ahead of the Jackson's Hole. If we are going to get two consecutive daily close below 117, we are opening 115, 114, 1450 in my opinion. Going to monitor this very closely. Euro pound, because we are trading the European hours. As discussed yesterday, no change in view, looking for a retest of 0.9, 89.80, 75 to renew long position. First target, in my opinion, it's still 91.40, but I would be very careful and monitor, if long, monitor very closely 90.70, 90.80. Just, you know, we trying to do this smaller consolidation. So with that being said, guys, IFO and then German IFO, German GDP behind us. We are waiting for nice package out of the US. So I'm going to get back to you with another market update, this time US cash open market update a little bit later today. Guys, don't be trapped. Don't be trapped. Do your own research. Be careful with the exposure. Have a great trading session and see you around. Take care and goodbye.